Yo, what's going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. We are back with another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about the second episode of Season 2 of The Sopranos. Do not resuscitate. Obviously, we're getting into the swing of this season. Sorry, I have to fiddle with this chain while I make videos. I have to fiddle with something. I don't know why. It's really weird. But, yeah, sorry in the last video if I didn't put review at the end. I'm not trying to, clickbait anyone into, making them think that this is, a full-on episode of the show. You obviously have to go to HBO Max to watch it, or Max, whatever. But it is Christmas Eve, and I know it's kind of weird for me to be making videos, but let's get into it without further ado. I have to leave here in about 20 minutes for church. We have service for the holidays, so I'm just going to do that, and then... Yeah, so Jack Mazzarone's construction company, which provides no-show jobs to Tony, is being picketed by black protesters led by Reverend Herman James Jr., So yeah, he's protesting. Obviously, he doesn't like that his minority guys can't get a job there. Yeah, it might be a pure coincidence because obviously this is taking place in the 90s. I mean, racism is still a thing, and it's probably always going to be a thing. But I don't think they purposefully made it so no black people could work there. It's just the people they're closer to tend to be white. You know, it is what it is, I guess. So in return for payment by Mazzarone, Tony sends some thugs who brutally beat up the protesters. In fact, Tony and Reverend James are colluding, and they split the payment. And it's crazy because the Reverend's like, well, I don't want their blood on my hands because this is pretty much blood money, what you guys are paying me, you know? It's a really interesting situation there. So, meanwhile, Pussy meets with his FBI handler, Agent Skip Lipari, and attempts to stall the party's demands for information. Obviously, I mean, this doesn't mean Pussy's a rat. It's like everyone has an informant. Everyone has connections with the FBI. If you're into high crime, you're obviously gonna have someone that you can lean on to get information about the feds to avoid prosecution, avoid indictment, all that stuff. So, Tony visits Uncle Junior in jail. This is a pretty simple episode, so I doubt this video will be long. Obviously, I'm probably going to be able to make it a 10-minute video because it just looks better on the channel for me. But yeah, he visits Junior in jail. Junior tries to convince Tony that Olivia had nothing to do with the attempted hit and urges him to make peace with her. He's taking this on the chin. He's like, trust me, it was all me. I did this. I resented you at the time. You were making fun of me. You know, you were degrading your freaking street boss. That's something in the mafia that no one should be doing, obviously. It was a joke, but Uncle Junior clearly didn't take it that way, you know. So Tony mocks him for being manipulated by Olivia, which is really interesting. Tony tells Junior's aide, Bobby Bacalieri, who's the super fat dude, that Junior will keep the title of boss and will be permitted to earn on a subsistence level. The rest will be Tony. So yeah, he's going to keep the boss name. And we all know why. I mean, he's already incarcerated. Why would you give someone else the boss title? He is the boss. If the FBI asks anyone, it's Corrado. It's Junior. He is the boss here. He's taking the hit for us. You know what I mean? He is the major player in the operation. So Junior's release from prison on medical grounds is obtained, but he is placed under house arrest with an ankle monitor, and they're trying to complain, which, I mean, you can't really complain much. They're giving you house arrest. That's way better than sitting in a stinky-ass cell with a bunch of stinky-ass inmates, you know. It's gross in there. So, house arrest, anything to get you out. Obviously, he won't have much motion on the streets. He's not going to be able to really go around, go to meetings, run things, unless he, sneaks out somehow and finds a way to finesse, which the mafia is probably going to find a way to do. But, yeah, so Junior conducts business at his doctor's office, which cannot be bugged. They say he can go to doctor's appointments, so he's just going to use that as his meeting place, his business area. So at an ostensible appointment there, Junior tells Tony that the owner of Livia's former nursing home, Freddie Capuano, has been gossiping about Junior himself, Livia, and Tony. Obviously, if you gossip about people, if you're spreading the word about the mafia, they're going to come and get you. It's not a joke. Yeah, don't play around with them. They don't mess around at all. It happened to the Paul guy, Filippi or something. I can't remember his last name. It happened to him in the first episode. It's happening again. So this show is really pushing it, pushing this agenda, pushing this idea. You don't want to mess with these people, you know. So Capuano disappears. A state trooper finds his abandoned Cadillac with his toupee lying nearby. It's crazy, man. These people don't give a shit. So Janice continues to visit Livia in the hospital. She's just manipulative, and you see in the thumbnail, she's using you, Tony. It's exactly what she's doing. She is using Tony for her own personal gain, and obviously it's kind of fucked up. She comes all the way from Seattle and all this stuff, and she's talking about the house like, oh, let my friend list it. And you obviously know what that means. She's going to get connections with her friends, and she's going to buy it her damn self. Like, he's like, as long as it gets sold, and Livia's going to go right back to living in that house, and Janice is most likely going to move there and live with her so she can have pretty much free housing. She's going to use that will money. She keeps asking her about it. So they antagonize each other, Janice and Olivia, but then Janice plays old music that Olivia loves. They bond for the first time in years. Again, it's manipulation. That's all it is. Olivia speaks of the money she has hidden. She doesn't remember where. She's bringing it up, and obviously that's exactly what Janice wants her to do. She wants that money, you know. Tony contemptuously tells Janice they deserve each other. She can live with Olivia in Olivia's house when she leaves the hospital. He reveals that. He's like, okay, you can do it. It's fine. We don't have to sell it to another person. We don't have to get the money. I'm not really in it for the money anyway. I just think my mother would be better off not having a house to go back to and staying in this nursing home, because it's a great place for her to live. People take care of her. She can handle herself in there, and yeah, but if Janice wants to be the caretaker, if she wants to move here full time and live here, then sure, why not, you know? I don't think she has any family anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But during a visit to his grandmother, AJ innocently mentions DNR. It's really funny. Like, this episode creates some funny little irony and kind of some foreshadowing, because he's doing like a DNA project for school, like towards the beginning of the episode, and then he's like talking like, DNR. I know what DNA is. I know that helps with whatever you're going through and your sickness and all that, but DNR does it? And she realizes, she knows what he means. And she knows what he's talking about, obviously. She's an elderly woman. She's been made aware of all of these things in her late years. So yeah, questioning him, Olivia realizes that Janice and Tony are considering a DNR instruction for her. Do not resuscitate. Which means, like, if she's going through, like, a coma or something, don't bring her back. Like, just let her go through it and let her die. Like, it's as fucked up as it is. Like, because they know she's kind of living a very miserable life, and they know... But it offends Olivia. Olivia knows, like, she's not in the happiest place in her life, and she's not really enjoying herself. But it's messed up to do that to your mother, you know. You don't do that unless they're going through some chronic condition and they're super down in the dumps. Like, Olivia doesn't seem in super bad health. Obviously, she's going through everything a normal elderly woman would go through, but DNR is ridiculous for someone in her position, you know. So, one evening, Junior slips in the shower and is badly hurt. Another old man. He speaks of his guilt to Tony and again urges him to make peace with Olivia. He thinks he's gonna, like, die here. Like, he's talking like he's about to pass on. And obviously, he's... Yeah, I don't know. Like, he doesn't want him to die, knowing that Olivia and Tony are still gonna hate each other. Like, he doesn't want that because obviously they're family, you know? He will not accept an ambulance, but allows Tony to carry him to his car and drive him to the emergency room. It was probably just some bumps and bruises type of accident. We can talk about some things. Jack Masserone, Bobby Bacalieri, Skip Lipari, Reverend James are all some new characters, and the show continues to do a really good job at introducing new characters. I think it's great for the show. It gives you new things, new storylines, new possibilities. I think it's great. I'd like them to continue to introduce new characters. In terms of the people that died, Freddie Capuano obviously got shot and killed, or he got killed, you know. Reverend Herman James died from natural causes, and I didn't even really talk about that in the review. You know, Tony had a nice little chat with him. He was such a nice guy, such a genuine conversation between two kind of older men. It was a really cool thing to watch, so rest in peace to him. I think it would have been cool, you know, if he had his wisdom around the show a little bit longer and he could talk to the other characters. But anyways, I'm out. That's all I have. I know 10 minutes is a lot for these type of videos because it's a shorter format, but I'm going to go to church and enjoy the holiday with my family, and tomorrow I'll do the same, but obviously later tomorrow night we'll probably be doing an NBA recap of all the Christmas games. So yeah, we're a little off schedule. We're not going to watch another Soprano episode for the weekend like we would normally.